All right, everybody, we are on the Mark Hoke Show and thrilled to welcome back one of the great radio and television personalities on the planet. Yes, I said it. He is the host of Fox News Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time on the Fox News channel, Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla, which can be heard here on KDON 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And he's also out there on that Everybody Calm Down tour, which sold 2 shows out in Las Vegas. It's going to be in Evansville, March 7th, St. Louis, April 11th, Des Moines, May 2nd. And I also saw he's going to Hagerstown and Reading, too. I'm going to wish you the best of luck on that, Jimmy. I'm very sorry. Jimmy Failla, everybody.
Yo, not only did I sell out 2 shows in Vegas, but you were able to sneak past security for one of them.
I did. I think it's because I had a kid with me. So.
No, I know that was the trick, because I was just about to file a formal complaint with the property, and then I saw the kid. I was like, all right. They had to let you in. I'm kidding, Mark. Great to see you, man.
Good to see you, too. Good to see you. You know, how is it that this is our second interview, and we had a significant event the last time you were coming on, and now we got another one with the U.S. winning Olympic gold, men's and women's, but good Lord, Jimmy, it didn't take 12 hours before all hell is broken loose on this. Can you believe the politics that have gotten interjected into this thing? And for those that don't know, Kash Patel was already over in Italy doing some work and went to the game. He's a big hockey fan, and they won, and they invited him in the locker room, and everybody's flipping out.
Yeah, you know, you think liberals would give him a break when it comes to hockey, because technically speaking, it's the only place where men can have periods. You know, you'd think this was right in line with their agenda, but no, that can't. You can't have nice things. And now we've got, obviously, the men's team is going to the State of the Union tomorrow night. It sounds like the women turned it down because of a scheduling conflict, which is probably political in its own right, and they don't want to make hay of that. But the reality is, everybody in this country should be so thrilled right now, you know, because of all the people that beat. The Canadians are they had it coming. You know what I'm saying?
They're out of line. They're out of line.
In the last couple of years, and what I love about this is they'll have to wait 4 years for a rematch, which is the same amount of time they've got to wait to get an MRI up in Canada with their garbage healthcare system that they like to brag about. So I'm riding high. I'm with you. I'm riding high.
Yeah, it is just amazing how this is all broken down. But we're having this problem in pro wrestling too, and I think I emailed you about it. I don't know if you got the chance to check on it, but we have a pro wrestler named Brody King who is wearing a Abolish ICE t-shirt on a televised event, and now all of a sudden we've got people chanting F ICE at pro wrestling events. And Jimmy, you were a big wrestler.
Yeah, come on.
What is up with this, and how bad is that for pro wrestling to have something like that going on, in your opinion?
Well, at first I thought it was like a heel move. You know, like the Iron Sheik used to come on. I was talking about this because I had Sergeant Slaughter on Fox News Saturday night like 3 weeks ago. And it's so funny. We did the show and we had no idea it wasn't airing because there was a development in the Savannah Guthrie case. So we're in the studio doing what we think is live TV. They didn't tell us it wasn't airing until the end of the show. But me and the Sarge had talked about this. I saw your email and I said, hey, man, are they just being heels and trying to work up the crowd? But apparently they weren't.
No.
And I got to tell you, man, I mean, you know this, but the average person kind of takes this part for granted. ICE is doing the single hardest law enforcement job in America, which is they're there to get people with violent criminal arrest records that are in the country illegally. And normally that's pretty easy for them to do if they're apprehending somebody in a jail. But in these sanctuary cities, ICE is forced to make these arrests out in the open where there's people blaring horns, blowing whistles, cursing them out, spitting at them, because the sanctuary cities don't let you apprehend them in jail. That's the whole hangup, is they don't get a detainer on a guy and call up ICE and say, come get this guy while he's in handcuffs. They let him out like it's Pokemon Go, which is psychotic. Okay, and I had Tom Homan on Fox Cross America Friday. I'm sure everybody listening on KDON heard it. And he was telling the truth. He's like, nobody likes to hear it, but all of these sanctuary cities are putting their citizens in danger because they're the ones creating the chaos. But that's why these F-ICE people think they're in the right. They go, oh, like ICE, ICE shot a lady. But they make it sound like they shot this lady, Renee Good, because they were just bored on lunch break.
Yeah.
She hit him with a car, and maybe you can argue she should still be alive, fine, but you have to acknowledge she played a role in what happened to her, because if you don't, you're basically telling everybody listening that what she did was fine, and maybe you should be well within your rights to try that too. And I got to be honest, it's not going to end any better for the next guy who does it. Same with that nutbag Alex Peretti, who, again, I'm not happy he's dead, but if you watch the video of him kicking out the taillights of a federal vehicle and spitting on an ICE agent, at the very least, he's being an a-hole. Maybe you shouldn't die for that, but if you're being an a-hole to an armed cop and you yourself have a concealed weapon that you haven't disclosed, again, we just have to acknowledge the odds have changed. That's it.
Are we in an age where we're going to be stuck with politics in every phase of entertainment that we have?
No, we're going to outgrow it. We're not there yet, but it's coming. I mean, one of the reasons why it's this, it's this dialed in is because we have a transformational figure in there. It's politics are exciting because you have an exciting guy in there. Okay, a lot of politicians by comparison are bored. Like I like boring. I like JD Vance. I like Marco Rubio. But if either of them are president, it's going to be a lot more boring than this because they don't give you 7,000 quotes a day. And liberals don't have the ability. They're going to try to manufacture hysteria. They've treated every Republican the way they treat Trump, but it really isn't going to stick, with the average guy who's a little more conventional. That's my guess. I think when Trump leaves, it might normalize for a little bit.
And we're on with Jimmy Failla. And Erica, before I get my maybe last question or so, and Erica, did you have a question for Jimmy?
I do in a way. Listening to what you just said, Eric Bischoff wrote a book years ago called Controversy Creates Cash.
Yep.
And with the current president, like him, don't like him, just his presence alone, it's controversial.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think before 2028 that's going to change?
Not out of Trump. I mean, Trump's just going to Trump. The old saying, you can't fix grandpa. He's been doing what he's doing for 80 years. There's only one Donald Trump. That's why everybody thought it was such a scam when everyone on the left started calling him Hitler and all the other stuff, because they were acting like this guy came from the fringe and we'd never seen this personality out of him before. When the truth is, Trump, if you go back and watch a video from the 80s of him being interviewed, he'll put down a reporter or say it's a stupid question or say you're not that talented. So the scam is what you said. He's got so many eyeballs on him that a lot of people gain clout and traction and relevance by going after him. And that's what everyone's doing. I mean, look at the commercials of people running for office that aren't even related to him. Did you see that woman that's running for the House of Representatives in Chicago and the video is F Trump?
Yeah.
But she's not going to deal with Trump. Like they're never going to cross paths except after the election when she's working a McDonald's drive-thru and he goes there again for PR. But other than that, no. So I think it's a lot of people manufacturing hysteria so they can glom on it.
Thank you. I agree. I feel like just his name alone, people want to react, whether it's positive or negative, and they need to stop and just let's make America great again.
Amen.
Yeah, there's even been some people talking about trying to get him out of the WWE Hall of Fame and crazy stuff. For people that don't know, you are been a huge wrestling fan. You make a ton of pro wrestling references on your show.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Tell me why.
Listen, I grew up at the peak of wrestling when MTV integrated with the WWF is what it was at the time. I was obviously watching a lot of Piper's Pit. I have all those WWF thumb wrestlers in my office at Fox. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Iron Sheik, Ricky the Dragon, Steamboat, the
Hulk Hogan, Big John Studd.
I have a Big John Studd sitting right there, thumb wrestler. Great. And, I was a guy who grew up, you wrestled. You went in the yard and jumped off the fence and hit your buddy in the head with a lunchbox. And I grew up in that era. And all I'm ever doing on the radio, so you understand, is I drove a cab, as you know, for about 10 years, full time. And I'm doing the kind of show I wanted to listen to. That's the truth. I liked political talk. I liked entertaining shows like morning shows. And I wanted something that kind of split the difference. So I'm really just doing a morning show in my time slot. And it happens to revolve pretty heavily around politics. That's all I'm doing. That is the secret sauce. Doing the show I feel like listening to. When I can't get the Mark Hoke Show, obviously.
Well, obviously.
Obviously, that's going to be my go-to. I mean, I've left orgies to listen to the show. I mean,
well, I don't blame you. I really don't. I am a sexy boy. Sexy boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. No, yes, I did. Well, Jimmy, I know you got to get rolling. I had a special surprise for you, but I guess I have to sit on it. It's going to be like Thanksgiving seeing the Christmas presents.
We'll do it again. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know when you let me back on. I love hanging out with you guys. I normally do have more time on my hands. You know what I'm doing tonight? I'm not even going to be on TV. I'm just going to a preparation meeting for the State of the Union. Ew. Which is essentially don't tweet jokes about this. That's what I'm basically doing. They're basically putting a shock collar around my neck and telling me how many votes I'm going to get depending on what topic I tell a joke about tomorrow night. For real, that's what I'm about to go do.
All right. Well, I wish you best of luck on that. I hope you survive.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, I'll be sure to let them know they interrupted me and Mark Hoke. I'm sure some of them will die in shame. And rightfully so. They know how much this show means to America.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to have to use that soundbite for sure. Jeez.
Yes.
But once again, catch Jimmy Failla, Fox News Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and on KDON here, 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific. And, go see his show if you're anywhere near it. It's a great show. I promise you, you're going to love it. Jimmy Failla, everybody.
We'll always have this, boys. Take care. See you guys.
Nice meeting you, Jimmy.
You too.